How's it going, guys? This is day 4, wrapping up week 3 of my training block. And in today's session, we done the Larson's press. This time around, I actually had the fat grips on there. And the main reason why I'm using them is actually to increase the range of motion of the movement, just so I can work harder at the bottom, but then also as well, just work for a greater range of motion so my triceps are getting the work it needs, especially when I'm quite weak at lockout. So this is a good variation for me to now get strong and work on those weaknesses. So today's session, I had to settle for a triple. Every set I was doing was for 4 reps, and the plan was to then finish off relatively heavy on the last set, but yeah, just didn't have it in the tank. So what you're seeing here is every set leading up to that last set of 5, and I think I worked up to 130 kilos. But again, after the first rep, I felt like things were moving in the right direction. And yeah, the last 2 just got slower and slower. So you can see there, first rep was fine. Second rep here wasn't too bad. I'd liked it to be a bit quicker. And then yeah, it just seems like I kind of used up all my energy on this last one here. I attempted to cluster it, hence why I had the spot. But honestly, like the moment I then started to unrack the bar, I just started feeling my forearms cramping a little bit, especially my left forearm. So I was just like, you know what, let me just end it there. And this is what I was saying to my friend. That's why she was laughing. We move on towards the seated shoulder press. So again, this is a variation that I've been doing to just help my pressing power, especially overhead. My shoulders is just a massive weakness, and this is something that I've just been kind of progressing quite well in, actually. So this was 67.5, my top set of 10 reps. Getting the depth underneath the chin, trying to get as close to my clavicle as possible. Again, work my shoulders and my triceps here for as much range of motion as I can access, and just try and be as powerful from the bottom position, and then see it through all the way to the top. So I'm quite happy that I was able to get this set in. So hopefully I'll be progressing further as time goes by. With my accessories, in this session in particular, was a little bit more single arm focused. So we have here the croc rows. So I think I worked up to about 36 kilos for 20 reps. Only 2 sets. I need to manage the volume and not do too much, which felt fine. Then we were moving on to the single arm press as well. So this is a variation that I used to push quite a bit a couple years ago. I managed to work up to a set of 10 with 50 kilos. So I'd like to kind of get back there and probably go a little bit more beyond. I really like this variation, especially where, because I'm loading up one side, it really focuses on trying to keep my core as tight as possible to not obviously fall off the bench. So I feel like it's an exercise that I get way more than just focusing on one side, especially if I have any imbalances. Then we have more shoulder work here with some lateral raises. I've changed to doing this seated now, just so I can be a bit more strict in the position. And I'm actually not too bothered about how high I bring my arms up. I'm just trying to bring my hands as high as I can, and I find that just isolates my shoulders a lot better. I did some front raises as well, but I completely forgot to film that, so we'll just gloss over that part. So we have here the skull crushers, again just trying to increase that range of motion. One thing about me when I do my accessories in particular, you always notice that I try to work for as much range of motion as possible. And the reason being is that I want to work the muscle to its fullest capability, but also as well trying to keep my joints nice and healthy to, again, be strong for full range of motion. I'm not one that advocates static stretching, or even for myself, I don't really stretch much. And I find that when I'm training, I can actually kill 2 birds with 1 stone, getting stronger, but also maintaining a level of flexibility through taking all my exercises for as much range of motion as possible. So this is something I would actually advise for you guys, especially if, like myself, don't really stretch much, but you have aspirations of not being too stiff. Then take all your exercises for full range of motion. Like, share, and subscribe.